I got 2.
Right.
All right.
Shall we open the meeting?
Let's open.
Open.
I gotta go find my glasses. I'm missing.
In
Thank
the
you.
future, could you print this smaller?
Is it because it comes from the website?
Yes.
Because it does funny things.
Oh, that's the reason.
When I went to do
Now you
do
know
the
too.
minutes, I was like, I had my laptop and my face was this close, and I was like, "You have technology to make this easier on yourself."
Yeah. It's whatever is coming, and that's a
Usually there's a
PDF.
Zoom control on those things that allows you to...
Yeah, but doesn't the Zoom just work on your picture on your screen? It doesn't print it to Zoom, does it?
I don't know.
You're asking the wrong guy.
I don't know. Did you print the minutes?
Yeah.
Do you want me to go get them?
I'm gonna run and get my glasses.
Okay.
Because I think I left them in the car.
How was everything, Elise?
Good.
Good.
Good. I didn't think it was going to be so cold and. Ugh.
Went down to Providence College this weekend.
Nice.
Ooh.
And, I went down Friday night after work. I took the train and met a couple buddies. And my roommate and another... Actually, I grew up with one of the guys, and the other guy, we went to high school and college together. So played in the alumni rugby game on Saturday.
Oh, good. How you feeling?
I feel like $1 million. So it was...
Do you normally play rugby, or that was a college? Because you play soccer, right?
Yeah, I played rugby in high school and college, and I played for years after college
You did?
too. It's too much of a time commitment to do now,
Okay.
so I just
Yeah.
play Sunday morning soccer. Actually, I'll play soccer tomorrow night too. But it was fun. We went out, had a fun time out on
Good.
Friday night. Got in a little late, and then Kathy, Grace, and Madeline came in on Saturday. And we did the 10:30 information session at Providence, and then the 11:30 tour before the game.
Great.
So,
Nice.
yeah, so it was a lot of fun. It was great. It was great being back on the campus and getting
Yeah.
a tour like that again.
Have they done much improvement of the place? Or?
Oh my God, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It is amazing how much they've done. And it was funny because they took us into this.
Thank you.
Who did they take us into? Aquinas Hall, which is a girls' dorm, and they took us into the first floor of one of the dorms, like the smallest dorm possible. And I'm standing outside as all the groups in there. I look at my wife. I'm like, honey, I've never seen the inside of one of these rooms.
This is interesting.
I've never.
This
been-
is-
this is what the girls' dorm looks like. Who knew?
Tim, any chance that Grace might want to go there?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think I think she really, really liked it. I think it really kind of got her, head going for
Oh, found one
for
correction.
getting into going to
Baseball.
go to colleges.
What did I write?
Basketball.
Basketball. Oh, good. That must have had some. Oh, look at the.
That's all right. You have it down.
There's also,
below.
random apostrophes.
The
You know, it's good to
men's
have them in there. You might need them.
You might need to move them around.
Yeah.
Right, so we're editing and reading for content.
So the only thing I would say about the men's basketball is I went on to their website, and there are a number of games scheduled for 9 o'clock in the morning.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, you did bring that up, Tim.
I'm willing to, if the ultimate thing is if they can all work it out themselves between
Right.
the two grid, that should be fine. But
Yeah, and they did.
Cabal.
I directed him
Good.
back to Brian to deal with the 2 days that they had the double
The
headers.
conflicts, yeah.
And there was only one game that they wanted to start at 4 o'clock. So what they said was that the teams will get there, and as soon as the men's are done, the boys will go right onto the field.
right.
So.
And will represent the commission for an release.
I knew you'd like that, Pat.
Made up some other fake news to take care of.
I wish I was there. I went to Springfield. Kathy Lundeen is running the 4th of July committee, huh?
And
But
just
I
so
have it in
you,
my notes.
I took,
Lundeen's a nice,
she
Yeah,
is.
these are good.
she do a good job.
I did take the liberty of donating from rec the use of the community center for 2 of their fundraisers,
Two.
for the 4th of July's fundraisers.
Okay, good.
Okay.
So they've recognized us on some of their signage, and
Oh, nice. It's a lot of work. They do a
it
nice
is,
job.
they do an unbelievable amount of work.
They do. What day is the 4th this year?
It is
The second. The
Tuesday,
first.
The 4th is usually the 4th.
The 4th is on a Tuesday.
Okay,
but we are
Everyone's
having
festivities are
celebrations
on the first.
on the 1st,
okay,
though July 4th actually falls on a Tuesday.
great.
And I'm just gonna throw something out and ask you guys, I didn't think it should be my responsibility, but, groups that tend to use the field on a repeat basis, the Crank Up, the A1 Auto Show, you know, there's a whole
1A
bunch of
Auto.
them that do it. It is not my responsibility to call them and have them book their dates, is it?
No,
No, that's
No.
Okay,
their responsibility.
that's what I wanted, okay.
And they've been
Um,
doing it for enough
yeah.
years now
Right.
that
That they
we
should know.
shouldn't-
Yeah.
has somebody been like suggesting that you should know that they're gonna be there
Yeah,
that day?
how,
There was a little distress because I have a wedding booked on the town field on July 9th. It was booked last August, beginning of September.
Yeah.
I had nothing on the field. And I've repeatedly told all my big bookers, book a year in advance. If you're on the field today, come off the field on Monday, send me the field request form for next year.
Right.
Send it to me for the next year so that I put you right away onto the books.
So what's July 9th?
It's normally the Crank Up.
Okay,
what day?
The Crank Up
On
on the
what-
9th.
On what?
Well, it's that Sunday.
Oh, okay.
So did they do like the second Sunday in July or always the Sunday after the 4th of July or something
I don't know
like that?
how they figure
do
it out,
Okay.
but, so Kim Spalding called me today and I said, Kim, I didn't even hear from Justin to book the date until April. I'm like, this has been on the books since last September. I'm not gonna kick a wedding off the
right.
town field.
No, you're not gonna kick a wedding off anything.
Anything. I can't move a wedding. It's at 12 o'clock. I did call the wedding person just to confirm that the wedding was still on.
That makes sense,
You know, can I-
right? Just in case,
touching
yeah.
base, just making sure everything is all set. Time is 12 o'clock, and they're going right from the
So-
gazebo to the community center.
July 9th, could they put Crank Up on,
That's what I was gonna say. Can
can you put it up on Varnum? They can
Think
drive
that-
this stuff through there, can't they? There's plenty of room to get there.
to get up there? Because that's what I was gonna ask Kim if another field would work. I just don't know how much power they need. I think most of what they do is steam powered, but the concessions might need power. If they have like a food vendor,
Well, how do,
they
all
plug
the- how do
into
the
our
other-
poles.
no, but I mean, how do the, like,
How do we do it on the
when
4th of
Pepperell,
July?
Soccer is up there, how do all their things get power up there?
I don't know. I'll have to ask. I can ask Paul. Let me ask Kim because Kim may know. I mean, Kim was our
I
old.
mean, they run a whole bunch of stuff up there. The Lions Club runs that whole grill and cooking thing. There's a bunch of vendors who are all doing, screen shirts and numbers where they're running an electric machine to press numbers and
So they've got to
names
be
and
getting
all
power from somewhere.
that. Yeah,
All right, so let me check with Terry, because Terry might know. Terry will be
Yeah.
able to tell me that.
just put them on a different field.
And I can just move them, because at that point, there's nobody out there.
Right.
And they really don't care. And the only thing I have to watch out for is their, and they'll do it, I'll make sure if I tell Kim,
But,
not to put the shingle maker in the middle of the field.
okay, but I would, if they've got an actual, like, first Sunday after the 4th of July kind of thing, then let's, then let's
Always
put them in
avoid
there
that,
and
yeah.
just say, all right, we'll just put it in the calendar for the next,
2 years or 3 years,
Right.
but
10 years. I mean,
Just
just as
make
long
sure.
as that's it, just
Yeah.
put it
Yeah.
in there with, in my calendar, I can put something in with no end
Yeah.
in sight.
A
Just put it on there.
A repeating
Really?
event.
And that way-
Yeah.
I think I can on Google too. I can
Yeah.
just repeat it
You can
once a
repeat
year
it
for the next.
Annually.
I mean, has it been the same the last few years?
At one point, it didn't happen for 1 year, and then because it didn't happen, they kind of juggled a couple of different
So they have
weekends.
it, yeah.
So I think that's what he's settled on now. Is it's like I think it's the second weekend, barring 4th of July.
Yeah.
So let me talk to, I will give Kim a call then back and, because yeah, they can drive right out there. That's,
Right.
because they do a big yard sale and actually parking would be better up there.
Yeah, parking would be
Parking
much
is
better.
way better up
Yeah.
there.
Parking would be much better up there than it would be.
What else is going on up there, though? So July 9th, everything's done,
Yep.
all the soccer's done,
Lacrosse is done.
lacrosse is done.
Football hasn't started,
Is there anything on that field at that time?
other than 4th of July or the week before.
Right.
No men's league soccer or anything. up
They're
there?
on, they use
No,
Upper
we'll be all
Varnum.
done.
And they're done, yeah, because
Done end of June.
Okay.
because then he restarts the end of August.
Right.
You guys want to
Who
accept
do you have?
minutes?
Do you have Dave Grealis? Is he the guy?
Kenneth Bicky,
Oh, Ken and Dave, yeah, okay.
so he's my contact that always,
So I'll correct the editing,
Yep. But
or do you want
overall-
to just correct it on what I sent you and post them?
I can do that,
Okay.
as long as everybody
So
approves the
Nancy will
change.
correct the
Yeah, looks
editing?
good.
And then I just saw a D, remain closed.
Looks good overall. Please, thank you.
Approved, so I will post both of these.
Nancy, would you be able to, before I leave, could you print off 2 field request forms?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
And I did get, by the way, from,
You did get from
The Varnum Brook.
Yep.
she asked for the
Date?
13th, 14th, I
Yep.
think?
And then I think they're requesting Friday during the day.
Yeah. Right, I got them in my bag,
Yeah.
so.
No, that's true. This upcoming Friday. They're hoping they can get a few hours during the school hours.
Let me call her then. I'll just
Okay.
touch base with her real quick.
Is that what you need the forms for?
Yeah. No, this one is different though. This is the PTA is running. I think they're doing the fun run.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fundraiser that they're doing, and I think they were hoping to be able to do the running in the town field area.
During the day?
Yeah.
During the day is usually fine. Like I said, the only time that I would, especially with the schools being out there, I usually let the chief notice, so they'll
Yep.
put a
No,
police
that'd be
officer
great.
over there just so that they don't have strangers with the dogs and everybody out on the field with the kids.
Are you doing the fun run?
I wish I could. Oh, I think the whole Varnum Brook crew's doing it. Kindergarten through 4th grade.
There,
Oh,
so,
well,
And
that's great.
it's kind of like the old shoot-a-thons. They get, people donate per lap.
Yeah.
And I think they can do up to like 30 laps, 30 to 35 laps.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So around the whole upper field?
I think that's what they originally going to
No,
do.
they want
but
the
I
front
think,
field or the
yeah,
back
they want
field?
the front field now. So
Okay.
I think something might have changed where, I don't know if the little guys can't do it or not. I don't know.
well, either that or they're separating the little ones from
Yeah,
the big ones so
maybe
they don't
they-
get trampled. And I don't know whether you've noticed,
But it might rain, I don't know.
Terry's been working on Comiskey. Have you seen him out?
Yes, good.
Yeah.
Doing
We're
reseeding?
reseeding. He came out there. They got the new machine. They went out and aerated everything and dragged everything with the
Thatcher.
thatcher, and now he's out there working on the spots that really just didn't come back last.
Right.
So
Is there any water out there?
No.
Any irrigation?
not on that Comiskey, no. And I don't know whether it was they couldn't get it there because there is. I don't know. But I know there's nothing.
Yeah, it's too bad that wasn't done beforehand.
Though I will say the grass, what did survive, survived a whole lot better than I thought it would. So,
I just reseeded my lawn last weekend too.
yeah. I'm getting ready to have a bunch of
Last
trees
weekend?
taken down, so
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not
2
seeding
weekends ago.
anything.
Still haven't seen any grass grow yet.
Wow.
What kind of grass seed did
Tim,
you use?
have your
It's anywhere
sprinkler
from
system.
7 to 30 days to germinate, so it hasn't been a lot of sun, that's the other.
No.
Yeah, just rain.
Thank you.
Letting you know.
Delivery?
Yes, delivery.
No.
Much appreciated.
Love you.
Thank you.
Love you too.
Harass. Joking.
Oh, come on.
He has to. He harassed her at the bunny breakfast too.
All right.
Alright,
All right, so
Wi-Fi?
we kind of threw this on at the last meeting.
So what's the monthly cost?
Let me go look. The last time I did a check, Martin looked it up. it was gonna be about $60 a month. Internet at the community center. Lowest cost would be $59.99 per month. That's our lowest cost option. This was last fall, late summer, early fall, $99 installation fee. And then he said he would probably be able to supply any of the wireless equipment for the building at no cost because that comes under his budget.
It's like a router and stuff. Is
Yeah.
that what we're talking about?
Nancy, have people asked about the Wi-Fi?
Mhm.
They have, okay.
Yeah, I mean, any of the groups that use it regularly, you know, the Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, all of them have asked because a lot of their projects that they're working on now, they use their computers to connect. And so a lot of the leaders they'll use their hotspot for a little while, you know, they'll just turn their phone on and get what they need, but
So there's no ongoing, like, you know, basically $59 a month. There's no other fees.
nope.
Well, that's what I pay for my house.
Yeah, there's no break for being a town
A
entity.
town entity.
Unfortunately, because I had asked that, and then we're just far enough away from the school and the police station that I can't piggyback off.
Off of theirs.
Because that was a thought, was could we piggyback? And we're just too far away.
Right. Okay. I mean, I think it makes sense to have
Yeah.
there.
I mean, in the end, we will eventually be able to use it as a cost savings down the road, especially if that green energies can
Right.
come through with the, you know, the monitoring system and the ability to unlock and lock doors remotely, as well as, you know, turn the heat up and down, you know, any kind of a warning system with the building.
Yeah, I think we should go ahead and do it.
I agree. Especially if people have been asking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's a selling point for,
Yeah, it helps.
and even for us, like, to be
'Cause
able to meet there and.
Right, because at that
and
point we're-
have all of the things that we need to have in order to have our meeting.
Okay.
So, budget-wise, this would be something that we wouldn't get any reimbursement from the town, so it would just have to come out of our 240 line item. So I
Mhm.
just feel like I have to say that
Okay.
out loud, even though I think you both know that.
Yep.
So will we have full coverage in the build, like, has anyone ever looked at the building to see whether or not?
Will they have it upstairs and downstairs?
Yeah, I guess that's my
Yeah.
question is,
Because
will
you
be
put-
able to be used downstairs?
it is a wireless router, and at that point, we would have actually two different networks in there. It would be one that would be secure, so that if we were working
Mhm.
on something
Yeah.
and needed the secure, it would be secure, and then it would also allow for the people to log in for free. You know, to have the
So a secure
minimum
network
access.
and a
So
public access
the public
network.
access as well.
Anybody sitting in the parking lot could log on to our Wi-Fi?
Yes.
Is there any concern about that?
I did ask Martin about that,
That's a
and
good point, too.
and he did say that they had an issue at one point with the library, but
So it would be the same thing.
they were able to immediately figure out who it was and shut it down. So he said, I mean, you know, I could give people the passcode, so to speak, you know, to set it up totally locked down and put it, you know, send the email
That
out.
they have to ask in order to get.
Here's the password, here's the access code, and, you know, please don't give it out
Then it ends up like the keys to the.
I know.
to the
Yeah.
shed, to the building, and everybody has it, because they're just gonna share it, so.
Well, and if it's already happened at the library and Martin was on it, or even if it was before Martin, if our town IT is on it, then
Right.
they're doing that for all the buildings. Because you could do the same thing sitting here
Yeah.
in this
Right.
parking
Yep.
lot in the dark at night.
Right.
Right, I mean, the big thing they watch is, you know, people who are downloading huge amounts of data.
Right.
Of course, he laughed and said, yes, there will be people watching inappropriate things, but he said it's, for the most part, you know, no one wants to sit out in the middle of the parking lot and get caught.
Is there, what's our security for somebody inside this building watching something that should not be? Do we have any way of knowing that?
I mean, the only thing you can see is the data feed.
Okay,
I mean, Martin sees the data feed if it pulls down real hard,
okay.
you know, because it'll slow everything right down.
Oh, all right. Okay, as long
So,
as he's okay with it.
So what do they do, Nance? Would Martin check like once a week or?
Martin can watch it and, you know,
He must get
he gets
notices
alerts
and,
no,
yeah.
he
Flags?
can see it, that
Yeah.
if something doesn't look right,
Right.
or all of a sudden the network is slowing down real
Okay.
hard,
Mm-hmm.
it's, at that point, he's like, yeah, no.
He'll
that
be
doesn't
And
work.
we know all of our inside people as far as who was there, so it would
Right.
really just be
Somebody in
at
the parking
hours
lot.
where they were, the center wasn't open,
Right,
that somebody was,
was trying, and for the most part, they would have to be sitting in the parking lot
right.
to do it.
And probably pretty close to the building.
Yeah. Well, probably within 100 feet. So you're, and let's face
Funny,
it,
because I pull up, a dozen on our wireless router. Like when
Mhm.
you go to, if you go to log on,
Yeah.
I'll see a dozen different wireless networks that I can log into.
and here's the worst one.
Really?
How many of them are actually encrypted?
No, I think a number of them are.
Because a lot of people don't encrypt them. It's
Yeah.
like, that's the worst thing you can do is not encrypt it, at least on your home. Because you don't want somebody, because people can drive by. I can drive by with my laptop and just log
And
on.
pull off somebody else's network.
And work
Oh,
off
really?
someone else's network, yeah.
It's that easy?
hmm
I didn't know you could do that.
Yep.
Jeez.
Yeah, no, my,
As long as you've got a, like.
You gotta be
we've got
a certain
passcode that's
distance,
about
so
this
yeah.
long.
oh yeah, that's the whip
Yeah.
encryption key.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
long as it's encrypted, I can't get on. But if you've got,
Okay.
What's the big deal if somebody gets on? Like, what
Yeah.
are they gonna?
well, one, they can use they're using your service illegally.
Yeah.
That's the first thing.
Well, I think
And they
it's-
can pirate and become somebody else
Right.
and get your
And
information,
it looks like it's you,
and it looks like it's
coming
you
back at you.
because it's your IP address.
I got you.
So
And there's
it's-
always that worry about if they hang around in your network that too long, can they do things to sort of look back into what you're doing? I don't think that's actually valid, but
That's a little scary.
worry,
All right.
yeah.
yeah, it's kind of scary how much people don't think.
So field fees.
Rather interesting. Mass Central Rec Group had somebody that asked and said, hey, about the time we started talking about this. So I went back and kind of pulled some of the fees just to see, what they were doing. Pretty much Shrewsbury, their youth sports, $15 per player. Southborough is $20 per person per season.
So they're paying their league and they're paying the town?
Yep. Well, no, yeah, that's what they're charging the fee to use the field. This one here, this is Princeton, $15 per person.
So Shrewsbury's 15.
Southborough is $20 per person per season. Yep. I am
And are
looking.
those the only people that answered, or are those the only people that charged?
No, these
that
were the
way?
ones that were answering. This one here, Dan was from Mendon. Mendon, our fees range anywhere from $1 to $10 per hour. So they go on an hourly rate, and he actually put the link up to grab the Mendon Parks and Rec list.
Okay.
What about, Groton, Dunstable, Townsend? What about the places around us?
Our locals,
Yeah.
trying to get information out of them and getting people to call me back. So now I've started emailing, but I haven't had any responses back yet. And of course, I just spent the last 10 days with the flu. So I've been down for the count.
I don't like the idea of charging per kid.
No, I mean,
Kinda
this
tough
That,
too.
Charge
that
per
seems
adult.
like a double.
Yeah.
whammy.
I don't actually have a problem charging for adults if they are making money and choosing to occupy
Now here's
themselves.
Devon's.
I do.
This is Kim over at Devon's. We do not charge a fee per player. Currently, however, we charge $35 per hour per field for practices and $52 per hour per field for games. Games, now they include the lining of the fields and associated equipment, field bases for field bases for softball, soccer, lacrosse nets for those games. And
So they're
Devon's-
getting more, they're getting lining and.
Right, they're actually
equipment
lining-
Related.
right.
That's why those fields always look so beautiful.
Does anyone have any type of fees like ours?
No,
No?
I can't find. And ours, I even have a hard time figuring it out. Trying to put the numbers in to come up with the right answers.
Well, I think we're very fair.
I mean, I think we're a little, on at least some of them, when I go in here, I mean, like, the men's soccer league, they pay $25 per season.
We
That
could
sounds
be-
really
So I have
low.
a friend of mine who's
Extremely
in
low.
Westford, and he's not on their like recreation commission, but I think he runs like some of the youth soccer stuff, or at least I know he's involved in the youth soccer fields and things like that. So I'll ask him what the fees are.
With the, yeah, because,
What
I mean,
they're
I just think on some of our, I don't think our leagues are unfair, what we charge the leagues, but I think our individual renting of the fields is low.
For like one-day events.
The one-day
That
events.
sort of thing.
I think the thing we've got to look at when we look at fees for the leagues is look at both a combined, what's the fee for the field, and then what are we also charging them for the field maintenance fee? Or is that the only fee we're charging them?
They don't get anything.
Looks like
Right.
that's
That's
all.
it.
That's what we were really aiming at.
Because
though,
when
in
I
the
charge
first
for the
place.
fields, like the youth athletic leagues is that formula we have. So, but like the youth athletic clinic, it's $100 per week.
So why don't we do this? Let's take baseball, soccer, lacrosse, who else? Softball. Who else do we have that's using that already?
Football.
Football.
Okay. And let's take the total, let's just take a grand total of the number of times they use the fields and for, how many hours they're using it. And then start to, then we can kind of back in and say, all right, here's the money you need to collect. And then you can kind of figure out a per hour kind of thing and then start going back to people and say to, then you can start to say to baseball, well, all right, here it is. You've got the field for, 8 hours a day for, number of teams. Your charge is going to be based on that hourly usage. It might be $25 an hour. Soccer, you're going to have,
Yeah, see, I think our leagues are all right. I really do, because I think those
we
aren't
should
the
validate
issues.
it. We should figure it
But
out.
we should
Right,
figure it
because I
out.
think we originally did this because of field maintenance.
Right,
We
but I can
didn't-
tell you
we
right
didn't
now,
include time.
the
though.
adult athletic leagues, $25 per season.
Right. I think we should
That's
start
not-
taking a look at,
No.
but I think we should take a look at the fees we're charging because we set those up 3-4
Yeah.
years ago. I think we should
You guys had
probably-
already had all of that discussion before I
Right.
started. It
And it
finalized
was
when I was starting.
Right.
So I'm
Mainly
just
aimed at
on-
keeping the
So I
maintenance.
came in the year
Yeah, you
before
came in.
3, so I'm going into year 5.
So I think we've got to take a look at those.
All right, so here, I am going to print this then.
And
Because
then
this
try to
was
get
the
hold of town-
calculation that Stacy gave me.
Hey, Dylan. Good.
You know you're being recorded.
Yeah, let's connect later. I'd rather connect with you tomorrow about it. So I'm part of the Recreation Commission. We're having a discussion about them now. So I just sent you a text figuring to catch up and see what you guys do in Westford. All right, sounds great. Thanks. Bye.
They're gonna do an investigation on you, who you're talking to during the meeting. No, I agree. We need to take a look at this. But our main goal, Jim, if you remember, was because of the maintenance.
Yeah.
We needed
Oh,
some
yeah.
help.
But I think that's also, we also do all this as a way to
Right.
provide a whole bunch of services and
Yep.
things, and so I think we should talk with Terry to make sure, are we covering our
doing it?
costs? Do we need more? But I think we should start to take a look at that. And
Well, and is that is what the question is, right? We're just maintaining. We're not
Thank you.
improving.
right,
And then,
so where is
Thank
all
you.
the stuff from the Comiskey all the work being done in Comiskey, where is that all coming from? Soccer? paying for it?
Soccer's donated it.
Yeah.
And I did tell Terry to let us know, because at this point now, we have accumulated probably at least a couple $1,000s in field fees
Okay. Well, and
that we can start contributing back a
Right.
little bit.
yeah.
You know?
Well, that's what that's supposed to be for, so we should, but, yeah, I mean, if that is, going, fine. The other stipulation we made on those field fees is that they would only be used for things, but, all of what we do between the
Right.
fields and everything is all designed to, to provide for, not just any one service, but the whole community.
The
at
whole,
large.
everybody to
Right.
back the fields.
Um,
I can tell you, usually what ends up happening is between soccer and baseball, because last year soccer put in almost $3,000 worth of work.
Right.
Their field fees are only, I think, like
Right,
a little
above
under
and
2,000, so
beyond.
they've gone above and
Right,
beyond.
right.
Baseball does the
We
same
should keep track
thing.
of that, so the
Yeah,
next
we
time,
need that too.
so that next time anybody says, well,
Right.
we can say, well, look, baseball does this, soccer
Right.
does this, and all that. I mean, all of that work, if you think about it, if baseball came to us and said, gee, here's our plan for the thing, you're the Recreation Commission, we'd like you to do this. We'd be sitting there going, well, okay, the fact that they're doing that with the fields and putting in all that time and energy and everything is, it is
Right.
fantastic, so. And we can't lose sight of that, in any of these field fees.
In any of the field fees.
Yeah, 'cause
No,
that-
Can you just
'cause
help
that
me with
really
this for a
is-
second? This is fertilizer, $15 a bag. This is how we came at our formula. Our total square footage
Essentially, yeah, this
Okay.
is what they were buying the fertilizer.
is just fertilizer.
Yeah. Yeah, so I would take a look and just figure out, like, let's make sure that this is all valid. And then maybe you've got to say to, softball or lacrosse, if they're not doing those extra things that the other leagues are, to say, okay, we need, the fees could be a little bit more. And you say to, we might also say to basketball, the court fees are a little bit higher now because electricity costs are so high.
Right, and that's a big thing, because we are leaving the courts on. But like
Yep.
I said, it says, the basketball league is $75 per season. The other adult leagues are $25 per season per team. The one-day event on the field is only $50. It's like, I'm almost,
Yeah.
it just
What-
sounds really low.
We'll
Compared
have to
to
take
what
a
the
look
youth
What can I help
teams
you
are
with, Ms.
paying.
Peg?
Just make sure the building's locked when you leave.
Everything else is locked but the back door, correct? I will lock it as we go out.
Huh?
We're having a party as soon as
You can come join our party, Peg.
Yeah, I wish I could.
Thank you, Peggy.
I mean, I would like to see, like a full one-day rental of the fields is, I think we ought to start to look at, that being, $75. And we might want to start taking a look at the, and give these guys a heads up that the adult leagues, a season fee is going to be $150.
Yeah, I just,
Well, I think we need to break it down to be able to support why we're giving the price, but I agree with you, Tim.
I mean,
'Cause
I
some
just
of
think
them
these are
sound
really
a little
low.
low. and
I
then-
mean, like I said, I think our
Little
league.
uneven.
And
Yeah.
inequitable,
Yeah.
right, inequitable if
Yeah.
the
we need to even it out.
youth teams are paying significantly more than.
Right.
The men's leagues shouldn't be getting that big of a break.
No.
So, and what are we doing? So fertilizer is one thing, but are we like reseeding? That money all came just, what we were just talking about for
Just from
Comiskey,
soccer.
that just soccer bought the seed?
Mhm. And like, because I have told Terry, because Terry will go over to, well, it's gone from John Deere to Lesco. I don't know what they're calling it now, but up in Nashua, they have them deliver, they'll have them deliver a pallet. I did tell Terry to let me know, because this is why we were collecting field fees, even in the fall for him to do liming. Let us pay for the pallet of lime.
Right.
Right.
That's why we're doing this. So. And I guess my other question is, would the field fees come under the repair for that fence in front of Comiskey that got mangled? Would that come under fees and the repair stuff?
We have to do something about that fence.
Yeah.
No, nobody seems to know.
It-
It just appeared.
No coal on.
I'm telling you, it was a plow. I mean, when you look at it,
It
it
got
just, And they tend to do the diagonal up that just got hit. I mean,
Yeah,
so
it
did
got mushed.
100 other things. So
Oh, yeah.
just needs to get fixed.
Okay.
How much does it cost to get fixed? To get an
No
estimate?
idea.
Just call Gate City and ask them. Because I can't imagine it would be.
Did Terry look at it? It's not like. Am I talking to the right person? Would be Terry that
It
would
would be
look at
Terry.
that. It's not just bend it back into place.
My biggest fear, bending it, it would crack. And if it cracks and then has a sharp edge,
Yeah.
it would be just our luck. Some child would run into it and get cut.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
not
I'll
messing
talk to
around
Gate
with
City
that
about it.
stuff, yeah. Just do
Because the
whatever.
other thing I'd like to talk to Gate City
Necessary.
about, have you seen the new gates on the town forest down on like Elm Street? And
Yes.
that gate,
Yep.
I'd really like
Yeah.
to, if you, as you come up
What's this?
Elm Street, if you're coming towards the town hall on the right-hand side where they forested all of that out and the logging roads went in, they put gates up.
Okay.
I'd actually like to find out how much those
Yeah,
two
I
gates.
just,
Right on
what's the
River Road,
road?
too.
Yeah, what's the road that's right there?
That's Elm.
Yeah, and
No,
then the
no.
elm cuts across the
Okay,
River Road.
I just drove up there now, coming from the train. So all that, what did they take all those trees out for? Are they putting houses in there?
No,
No.
that's town forest. About every 30 to 40 years, they go in and they thin out all the old growth
just for fire.
and they make money.
Well, it looked like they took down some big trees.
They
this
did.
time.
Oh, they did.
That's
a
what they
lot
do.
of
They'll
work.
leave a few
It looks
parent
really good.
trees, open it all up, and it will reseed and grow, and they'll come back in 40 more years and take down
Yeah.
and for fire reasons and just for growth purposes, because if it gets too dense in there, it won't grow anything.
Right.
So, but I would seriously like
So
to
you mean
Yeah.
to replace what we
replace
have?
the two gates on Townfield as well, because the wire mesh and the gate that's there is just nasty.
Okay.
We've got lots of rentals, by the way, coming onto the Townfield this summer. Everybody's wanting it.
Who's getting married?
Mariah
invited?
Willows.
Who?
Mariah Willows.
Are we invited?
And the ceremony's at the gazebo, and then they're using the center.
great.
That's nice.
Yep. So,
Oh, so they're using the center?
as their reception, yep.
Did they get a one-day permit?
Nope. The reason they're using it is because she doesn't want any alcohol.
Oh, okay.
Perfect place
And
to
she
go.
said
then.
that's the perfect place to go, because then they don't have
Makes
to worry
it
about
easy.
it.
Yep.
Was somebody, who was looking to have that concert when they were looking for the one day?
That, I've got his paperwork. Well, it's in my bag. I am waiting for them now. They were supposed to come in last Thursday, and with all of the
To get on
town.
the selectmen's.
Yeah, and because, and I can forward the email feed to you, but I explained to him in a couple of different emails that, the field fee is just that. I can't issue a liquor permit, I can't issue food truck permits. That all has to go through the selectmen, the Board of Health, that is them.
Yeah.
And put me on, and he kept telling me, put me on the selectmen's meeting. I'm like, I can't. You have to come in person and fill out the application for the liquor permit. I can't just put you on the
That's
Not
not
selectmen's
your
even-
meeting.
It's
job.
not even our department.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can tell you who to go see,
Yeah, two
Right.
separate issues.
but it's two totally separate issues. And that's why when people ask me about doing things on the field, the first thing I do is, okay, make sure you check with, because
Right, because that could change your whole date, your whole plan, if you don't get those other things done
Right.
first.
Done. And so, as it is now, he's not gonna be going on to the selectmen's meeting. If he came in this week and did what they were supposed to, May 15th is the next selectmen's meeting,
Okay.
which, I have no control of that. I haven't cashed his check yet, so
Yeah. Might just hold off on that one.
I'm just holding it
How's
and
Lisa
waiting.
enjoying being a selectman?
She seems to be liking it. Huh? Tonight's the first meeting.
All right.
Have to wish off. So, other than that, like I said, everything is quiet. We kept this
We
meeting.
didn't hear from the lighting proposal.
No, and I see Jason every Wednesday night, so I'll give him kind of
Okay.
a nudge, because Sean plays baseball for Jason, so. And after this weekend, the kids are happy. I haven't gotten any more phone calls. And what am I responding for summer playground?
Did you talk with Mark?
I didn't have a conversation with Mark. I completely forgot. So I can try to. I don't know if I'll be able to grab him tonight around this meeting, but I'll give him a call tomorrow.
All right, let me know. If we need to have a quick meeting, let me know too.
Right.
Because I have a whole bunch of emails and phone calls from people wanting to know yes or no.
Okay.
All right.
Do you know anything, did we get any information over the past month or so from either electric company about what they're doing right now with our bills? We got all these random credits. I can't figure out.
I was almost
We might not
tempted.
owe money for a long time.
I was almost tempted to call National Grid with our account
Was there
numbers
an overcharging?
and ask them if they could actually put on the bill recreation center or rec or something so that our bills at least
Separate it.
get put in our, because right now they all come in as the town of Pepperell.
So that's an O. I'm gonna have to call them. I can't figure it out. It's fine. I got
So
bills.
you're not
I got
giving you an
bills
overall balance?
backdated from. So we pay. National Grid provides the energy, but TransCanada
Yeah, it
provides
plays
the wires, or
something.
vice versa, or whatever. So we pay two separate bills each
Yep.
month for our electricity. And I got in the last stack of bills for each month's payment, I got credited bills from TransCanada. So that we have like, I'm gonna say like $200 and something in credits from months. So I can't figure out where that came from, and I just didn't know if you had like paperwork that wasn't a bill that says this is what we're doing.
Right.
Okay.
So,
No, I haven't got any, like a notification.
yeah, like a letter saying, we're re-examining our wattage or something like that. I don't know, making stuff up. Yes. Clearly they did, which is great. I love that idea, but
Nance, anything from the garden club for upcoming spring?
No, and actually, I'm going to email them because I've got a group of Girl Scouts that need to get their, whatever their little badge is that goes with planting and flowers and that stuff. They want to do something out in the center too. And so I think this might be an ideal opportunity to draw in the Girl Scouts and have them come in and work with the garden club and plant and make things pretty. And
Do they
that
want to come in and chastise us again for not being involved with us, and then 5 years later being upset that things don't look the same?
So we're gonna try. I'll put out the olive branch. That's my goal, and hopefully, like I said, can work something out.
Yeah.
The Girl Scouts can come in and get dirty and plant. We do have a major project that's going to have to be looked at because I don't know whether at any point in time they've sanded when they've plowed our parking lot. But that back wall and the steps, I don't know whether you noticed it last year, is like the bricks are dissolving. And so that back stairway and wall is actually becoming dangerous. I don't know if it's something that we want to try to put out to the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, somebody to have them do one of their
Yeah.
awards or a project.
project.
Because I know the girls have to do a silver award and they have to earn so much money and fix something that goes on. And the boys obviously have their Eagle Scout. But that's definitely gonna need some work. The bike sale went well, I guess.
That's good.
Yeah, they said that.
They had over 200 bikes, is that what I saw?
Mhm.
It's a lot of bikes.
Did the town
Do they track how many they resell each year?
I don't know if they mark them and know if it's the same bike coming back year after year. But I know people are out there at they start selling the bikes at 8 o'clock and people are already lining up at 7 to get in and get a bicycle. And any of the bikes that were left, which she said were mostly the little kid bikes, the little ones, those were picked up by Wilson's. The junkyard came and picked them up, and
Oh, really? That's good.
they
Because they can do the metal.
scrap metal.
That's awesome.
So
Good.
Well, it looked like the town-wide yard sale went well. There's a lot of people in town. A lot
they
of
had
people on the road.
60, 68, she said, total listed, and that didn't include the people that would
That just put their
that just
stuff
put their
out.
signs out.
That's awesome. 68's a good number.
Mm-hmm. So, yep, they were very happy. It was either 60 or 68, she told me.
That's great.
So they had a great day, and they had perfect weather for it.
What is the status of the new piece of equipment that they want to put in? You said okay to them?
I said okay,
Move
but
the
I
rock.
said I need the plans.
Okay.
I need a set of
You
plans
gotta have
because
the town-
it has to go upstairs through the
Do
offices
the
real quick.
checklist. Yep.
So I told her, just give me a quick scope plans. I've got the pictures of the, that you sent me, and the specs for the ADA specs for the equipment I need.
Okay.
And then she was going to send me that, and I'll call and remind her actually because I need to talk. to
And
her.
then that goes to the same checklist that we figured out with baseball,
Yep,
right? That
same
these are
checklist
the
that
amount
goes
of
right
people,
through.
'cause this
So we're
is
treating them exactly the same as we
Exactly
treat
the
baseball.
same. Yep.
okay.
There'll be no differences of anything if someone's got a project, and then
That's the way it works.
Now,
that's the way it works.
How close is where they want to put that to where that tree fell down last year?
It's not. It's the tree actually fell probably, well, 20 feet, 40 feet up the hill more.
Right.
I need to get Pete out there. Pete is our tree warden. I
Yeah.
need to go for a walk with Pete and Mark and say, okay, this needs to be cleaned out. The tree line needs to be cut back a
Yeah.
little bit.
Which ones are
And,
dead? Yeah.
and the whole tree line up by the school that abuts the school fence, that whole thing needs to be raised. Gone.
Yeah, has Pepperell Soccer cleaned out all that like extra old dilapidated goals that they have that are kind of stuffed just off into the woods around Glow
We
and
talked
and
about
Barnum
that
Field?
last year.
Because
I saw a pile of
the
them
backboard, you know where the backboard is against the woods?
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of stuff behind there. And then, but if you, in that section of woods between where Glow and Upper Varnum are, there's a whole bunch of stuff right there
yeah,
in the
you're
woods
right.
too. At least it was last year, but I just want to, the stuff behind the backboard, I don't know if it's,
Well, I guess
but I would think to these guys, like, look, unless you plan on using them,
All right, get it out of there.
Well-
can't you sell them to the scrapyard?
I was gonna say because even taking them to Wilson's, if they laid them onto
Yeah,
a trailer and
they'll
took them to
take it.
Wilson's, you're only making right now maybe a half a penny a pound. Well, it's better than nothing.
Right.
I mean, get it out of there.
Right.
Well, but I think we had this discussion last year, get it out of there. And if it's still there, then at some point we need to say, or we're going to.
Right.
Right? I mean, we don't want that stuff up there.
Right.
It seems like that could be.
I mean, I can take a
Hazardous.
walk.
I
I'll
just
take a
don't
walk
want
up
kids
through
like playing around back
Right.
there and
You don't
somebody,
need that.
somebody slips on it, catches an ankle between two bars, and the next thing you know, you got,
broken
Yeah,
ankle
some
and slap
kid-
a lawsuit.
yeah.
And it's
And just so
could
you know,
be
I don't know.
rusty and all that too.
Somebody took the initiative. I'm not sure who it was. This weekend for Sean had a baseball game at Nissitissit on Sunday, and somebody had taken little orange cones and pucked them across the driveway.
Really?
All right.
Oh, good.
I mean, I park up there anyway. I figure I'm the one that really can't drive down because I yell so much at people. But
Oh,
yeah.
that's awesome.
So there, everybody was in the parking lot except for a few of the parents and of course the ref that ref the game. They drove around the other way and they hid over in the corner on the back corner. And I'm like, really?
This is baseball, right? Oh, of course, the umpire, not the referee.
I'm sorry. Well, that's okay. I told my son if he hit the ball out of the park, I was going to yell touchdown. So
It's
Good.
amazing, like,
He's an excellent
when
baseball
Pepperell
player.
Soccer would go out to the fields at the airport, there was this big thing about just, like, leave all of the airport stuff alone. So I'm watching lacrosse is also practicing out there. And there's like 4 or 5 kids, one of the tarps for one of the facilities, one of the tents they have up, was kind of blowing in the wind. And these like 4 or 5 kids were just playing, like jumping on the tarp and doing all this stuff. And the parents were just sitting there. I finally walked over. I was like, it's not safe at all for these kids. This giant tarp just whipping in the wind and stuff. And I said, but it's also they've asked us to stay away from that stuff. Could you kind of get your kids off of it? And it's just amazing that parents are like,
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. And I was like,
if somebody is nice enough to let us use the facility,
yeah.
let's think about
Yeah.
that.
Show some
So,
respect.
but I'm gonna.
So you think it was from someone from Pepperell Baseball that put the little orange cones out?
No, I think it was probably lacrosse.
You do?
Which I'm fine with, because
Yeah.
I've talked to Oscar, and he told me to touch base with him next week. I have found a picture of 2 different signs that basically to put up on like a sawhorse
Yeah.
that says, emergency access only, no parking. And then Oscar said if I had the smaller signs made, he would work with me and get the poles, and he
Okay.
would put them down.
Down the road.
And I pointed out, a couple parents kind of grumbled about it at me, and I'm like, look, this is a safety issue.
Yeah.
Not only do you risk, because it's two-way traffic when it really shouldn't be any traffic, I said, in the event the ambulance has to get down here, I said, your child just got hit in the head with a baseball, or hit in the chest with a baseball. How fast do you want that ambulance to get down here? Oh.
Oh, yeah.
They can't fit. You can't fit a fire truck in between
Yeah.
the cars when they're parked on both sides.
Right.
So,
It's amazing what people think. It's like, oh yeah, it's perfectly okay to park right here.
Oscar said the reason he hasn't fixed right there along the edge of the Nissitussit field is because people are parking there. He goes, and it's actually causing the side of the road to collapse.
Yeah.
I'm sure it is.
Okay. All right, so for next month, let's make sure we finalize all the fees. So if we could just get a recap of all the fees. Let's also, I think we need to take a look at all the building fees.
Just general fees.
Yep.
Who's paying what?
Who's paying what, who, anybody not paying, I think we just have to take a look at what we are.
Who's paying? Amount?
Maybe we
Who's
can
not?
compare that with all the bills too, that we're hoping to at least balance with the fee.
Right, because we've got to, the other thing is we've got to start using these things as as a way for us to kind of build up a reserve of money to pay for the things we need to do to keep the upkeep of the building.
To keep the building
It's
going.
not just simply
Yeah.
paying electric bills.
Yeah, for
We've gotta-
emergencies.
We've got to be able to, to know that, when something goes wrong, that we can, that we can fix the leak in wherever. We can fix windows and lights and
Right.
things like that. Because the other stuff that we've got to, that kitchen probably needs a, significant overhaul. There are some, it's funny, there are some easy cabinet places. I remember when we were looking for the house for granite, my wife came upon some place that would sell you cabinets and then a free slab of granite goes right on top of all the cabinets, and they were incredibly inexpensive, So, there's got to be, we've got to be able to, see something around, between installation and the cabinets. It can't be inexpensive, but it can't be cost prohibitive to be able to put
I mean, the
something on
nice
there.
thing about our
We
little
put
kitchen,
a laminate on top.
it's small. We're not doing a home kitchen. And I
Right.
think that's the big thing, is it's not.
Right. But we could take a look and see, Home Depot, you could probably just go in there with measurements and say, what's going to take for me to replicate this with some, cabinets that are, updated.
Yeah, that's easy enough.
So
There's no need ever to put a dishwasher in there,
No.
is there? Okay. We should,
Because we don't actually cook and serve anything in there, so I don't have to be
right,
to code for that.
Good.
Because we're not a prep kitchen.
okay.
Um,
But we should make sure that if there's anything we do to that kitchen, is there anything we'd have to do,
compliance wise.
compliance,
Yeah.
fees, permits, that kind of stuff?
Board of Health. Kitchen upgrade. That would be Kayleen.
So when we walked the center at our last meeting, I actually typed the list of sort of things we were talking about in my phone. So that might be something we would want to take a look at and prioritize, like what are our priorities, what's our pecking
Like walling
order.
off that area?
Just to have it out there or documented that these are the amount of things we would like to do, and
Okay, so
here's
next-
sort of our priority.
How about
That's a
next
good
meeting,
idea.
let's come and let's go through that list and figure it out, and then let's ask somebody to come in and just not to get actual quotes to get the stuff done, but ask somebody to come in and give us a quote,
Like
to
a
give us an
contractor?
idea. Yeah, just, get somebody that, to
A
come in
rough
and
idea,
say,
ballpark it.
ballpark.
We're not
Okay.
asking for in stone.
right,
Right,
what would it cost to do this? We're not, and just be very upfront.
right, we're
not-
trying to make a
We're
priority
not doing this
list.
in any way to engage in, contracting you to do
Right.
this. We're just trying to figure out, in our priority list, what is the bucket cost of each of these things.
And of course, with a contractor looking at it too, he could actually point out that one project may lead into another, or,
Right.
hey, you don't
Right.
want to do that project until that
Right.
one's done,
Right.
Okay,
so that we're not going over the top of something else.
all right. So I will get that list out of my phone and into a document.
You want to email it to me?
Yeah.
And I'll put it in as part of the, list for grades repaired.
You know, and then at some point when we need to do the work, then we, whatever it is, we go through whatever, procurement system that we should be going through in order to, to bid it and get the, the best possible price.
And the other thing is too, by putting that list together and coming up with those prices, we may also be able to go back to Mark for the 2019 budget as a capital expenditure and say, look
Right.
at, these are things that really are important. We can handle this and this, but
Right.
this,
Something makes it a
This has
capital
to go
expense.
before.
a capital expense,
Our
I mean,
budget,
i.e.
yeah.
the roof.
Yeah.
The roof is gonna be huge. I mean, the last thing we want is that to start leaking. So,
Have we heard anything from Mark about the mass?
they've been
I
crazy
can't
with
think of what that's called.
the green energies.
Green
Yeah.
Nothing, I
Nothing.
haven't heard anything yet, but that doesn't mean if he has.
And what about the master plan? thing?
Did you talk to
No, I
Christy
can't think of
Wakefield
what's
that
called.
day? The football,
No.
at the bunny breakfast? Because you would ask me who she
I
was.
said hello to her, but I
All
didn't
right.
know.
All right, I'm gonna send her an email and see, because I think that's the only one I'm waiting on
Is
as far
football?
as any of my leagues is
Okay.
football. And to see if they, we're gonna commit, and if they are, how soon we can get the check. At that point, I can tell Mark to go ahead and roll the 7,500 that the town committed,
Mhm.
and at that point, we may have to commit the extra 1,000 or whatever it was from our side,
Yeah.
our 75 plus the extra
Okay.
to dump over.
Okay.
I'm assuming that that needs to be before July 1st. I'm just making an assumption here, but because it was from special town meeting in the fall that they approved that $7,500 for us, right?
Right, so we
I
probably do
believe
want to
we
get
have
it
to
moving.
expend it before July 1st.
Right, so we want to get it up then, now.
Okay.
So I will call or email her.
Yeah, no, that'd be nice to have that done, because we're proposing the next step in this upcoming
Right.
fall.
Right.
Christy.
So we're about 7 minutes before 7.
Okay.
You'd like to go
We
for,
good?
to the next meeting? Is that what you're
For the
saying?
next
What
meeting, yeah.
time, is it 7 or 7:30?
7:30.
Oh, it's 7:30?
Yeah.
7:30.
Select
So we've got a few minutes.
7:15.
So,
So I will have time to go home and get something to eat before I go.
All right.
It should
we
be a
good?
quick
You
meeting
wanna
too, right?
close?
well, actually, are we closed?
Close
I'll shut the
meeting?
meeting down.